With Hashem's loving grace, welcome to Laser Beams with your host, Laser Brody. Today's podcast is entitled The Miser and the Macaw, and it's a parable about relationships. There was once a miser who was so cheap with his money that he couldn't get along with anyone. He shuddered at the thought of feeding a wife and children, so he never got married. He never went out more than once with the same girl because he never offered to pick up the check at the restaurant. He was alone and miserable, but in his stubbornness, he clung to his cheapskate ways. Well, dejected, the miser decided to go for a walk and to cheer himself up and do some downtown window shopping that wouldn't cost anything. But he walked by a pet store and his sign caught his eye. Exclusive, rare Bolivian blue macaw. Talks and it sings. Well, the idea flashed in his mind. Hey, this could be perfect for me. A companion like a bird won't demand much from me, but it'll sing and talk to me. Well, despite the huge $5,000 price tag, the miser bought the bird, figuring that it's still a decent buy for a loyal companion that doesn't demand much. Well, the store owner warned him, though, that this Bolivian macaw eats only acai berries from Bolivia. The bird must have 20 berries a day or else it won't talk or sing. And a package of 600 berries, which is a 1-month supply, costs $60. Well, even though the miser, he didn't like the idea of spending $2 a day to feed the bird, he figured it was less than feeding a whole demanding family, so he bought the bird and a 2-month supply of berries. The miser was thrilled with his purchase. The macaw, despite his Latin American accent, spoke beautiful English. When he whistled El Condor Pasa, he sounded just like Edgar Moanala playing the pan flute. All it cost the miser was his one-time initial investment and then 20 acai berries a day. After 2 weeks of bliss with the bird, the miser thought, well, the bird can sing and talk, but it probably doesn't know arithmetic. If I feed it 19 berries a day instead of 20, I'll save 10 cents a day, and the bird probably won't know the difference. So for the next few days, the bird received 1 berry a day less, but he still gave over the daily news and he whistled Amazing Grace. Well, the miser was really proud of himself. He outsmarted the bird for 3 days while giving it 19 berries instead of its usual 20. He saved a whopping 10 cents a day. So for the next 3 days, he fed the bird 18 berries a day, and lo and behold, the bird continued to sing and speak. A few days later, the miser once more withheld a berry, giving it 17 a day, now saving 30 cents a day. Well, the miser was delighted. The bird continued to sing and speak, even though he was starting to sound a little bit monotonous. Well, little by little, the miser weaned the bird down to half his daily rations, 10 berries a day. Amazingly, the macaw still spoke, but its singing voice was off key, and he sounded, instead like a pan flute, he sounded like a kazoo. A month later, the miser was giving his pale and melancholy macaw a mere 5 berries a day. Well, the next day, the miser found the bird lying lifelessly in its cage, and the heartless miser shrugged his shoulders and he huffed, "Oh shucks, just as I almost taught the bird to get along with no food, it had the nerve to die on me." Well, if you think this parable sounds ridiculous, I agree, it is ridiculous. But I'm sorry to say that it sounds like too many couples that come to me urgently when the husband's begging for emergency help while the wife wants a divorce. He thought that she was some dumb bird, and instead of giving her 20 emotional berries a day of daily attention like he did when they were dating and first married, he gradually gives her less and less. Often he withholds money too, just like the miser. But if you're withholding just money and attention, that's only half the problem. He now complains and criticizes her for not doing enough, not singing her version of El Condor Pasa, even though she still irons his shirts, cooks, bears children, and she even contributes to the family income. Well, she's just like the miser's Bolivian macaw, except that he's been a miser, starving her emotionally or monetarily, and maybe both. And then he wonders why she doesn't show him affection. Well, in a relationship, you can't be a cheapskate. A woman wants a sympathetic, listening ear and a husband who loves her enough to turn off the cell phone, the movie, or the ball game and spend some quality time with her. Guys, if you want your woman to sing a melody of happiness, give her the gift of your time and attention. Make her top priority in life. You know, that's not even a gift. It's her emotional sustenance. Don't starve her, for she's the conduit of every blessing you have. So God bless, for lots of marital joy.